Everyone, this is Val, and welcome to the lessons learned video for the 30-day forward testing strategy that we've been doing for the last 30 days. So, as a summary, it was a success. We had a 100% success rate, and now let's just go through the statistics uh, for the last 30 days. So, we began with an initial capital of $5,000. We had a daily ROI, which is a return on investment of 1% per day, and a monthly ROI of 30% per month, assuming 30 days a month. We had average number of spins on a daily session for a win close to 140, and the average time needed to make that 1% was approximately 8 minutes. The maximum progression that we used was 10, so we made full use of the 10 progressions that was listed in the rules, and the maximum amount wagered for that 10th progression was $480. The minimum progression, obviously, we won many times with just one progression, which is just $1 wagered. Uh, the number of times that we wagered the maximum amount, which is the 10th progression, was 3 times at $480 each. We had a success rate of 100% of the 30 days, so that is a good sign. That's the reason why we're doing this video right now. All right. Now we're going to go to the what if scenarios. In reality, there's definitely going to be a time that we're going to go beyond 10 progressions. There's no doubt about it. This is called a black swan event in the stock market. We've had those kind of drops in the stock market in which the stock market totally crashed, and that's bound to happen in roulette as well. So just be prepared for it, that it is bound to happen. There's no, it's not going to be a perfect scenario in which you're going to have success for 365 days a year, or for infinity. It is going to happen, so we need to prepare for that. So what happens if you go beyond the 10 progressions? Well, I would advise you to just stop and end your session. Don't play anymore for that day. The amount lost is going to be 19.22% of your initial capital of $5,000, which in dollar value, it's going to be $961. Using 10 progressions, which is 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus 16 plus 30 plus 60 plus 120 plus 240 plus 480. That equals 961. So that will effectively be your stop loss. The word stop loss is something used at forex as well as in the stock market. So that's when you end your session for that day and you pick up the very next day. Now, this is the assumption, at the high end and the worst case scenario, hitting beyond 10 progressions will happen about once a month. So that's going to be like 12 times a year. So even if that happens and you walk out, you still be making 9.78% per month, which is $50 times 29, which is 1450, right? There we have that number right there. We subtract 961, which would be the loss for that day, and then we divide it by the 5,000, which is our initial capital. So that's going to be 9.78%, and if you annualize it, that's still going to give you a return of 117.4, which is pretty impressive. Under normal circumstances, I would say hitting beyond 10 progressions would be about 6 times a year. So if that were the case, your annual ROI is going to be about 232%, which is approximately double of what you would have if you were to have your worst case scenario. So my recommendation is we do not have $5,000 to start with. I recommend starting with $500 and using a 10-cent machine slot. This is equivalent to $5,000 using $1 base bet. So instead of using $5,000 and $1, we're going to be using 500 and 10 cents, which is basically equal to the same thing. I do know a casino in Vegas that I frequent that has a 10-cent roulette machine. Remember also to use only a single zero wheel, because using a double zero wheel will reduce your chances of winning by 2.63%. You're effectively giving an extra few percentage points to the casino, which makes all the difference for the casino to have the upper hand. There's also a casino that I know of that if the ball lands on the single zero and you have not placed a bet on the zero, you get half your money back. So that even increases your chances of winning. So do message me if you need the information on these two casinos. One that is having the 10-cent machine, and the one that has the half your money back if it lands on a zero, if you did not place your bet on a zero. All right. So I wish you all the best of luck. As far as the testing is concerned, I've proven that this strategy works, but it's up to you and your risk tolerance of how you want to proceed. I've given you my best suggestions, but it's up to you to follow them or to stick with your own assumptions and your own risk tolerance. All right, and what I'm going to do next is I'm going to use the same trend martingale strategy on binary options. I've tested a demo platform for the last 3 weeks, and it's shown tremendous potential. So if you want to play the financial markets instead of roulette, use binary options, and I'll show you a very good trend strategy that I've been testing for the last 3 weeks. And it goes less than the 10 progressions. In fact, around the 7th progression, I have actually won in the last 3 weeks. But I'm going to be forward testing that with you, so do look out for that video. All right? I wish you the best of luck, and do continue watching the binary options video, which I'm going to be starting tomorrow. Okay? All right then. Bye. Have a good day.